If my God did it once, I know he's going to do it again. Sometimes his provision does not come immediately, but it arrives at the right time. Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited that you guys are joining me for today's video. If you are new here, my name is Alexis Lee Trevino and I create faith-based content along with fashion, vlogs, lifestyle stuff, all that. And I wanted to say something really quickly because as people are kind of subscribing to my channel, you might be new here, and I just want to give you a little glimpse of kind of like what to expect on this channel other than my vlogs and other stuff like that. But when it comes to faith-based content, I am coming from a posture of I have not yet read the Bible front to back. So there's so much I'm learning, and I am honestly genuinely sharing from a standpoint of like, if this can help you out in any way, that is what it is meant to do. If this can bring you to open up your Bible, maybe open up your hearts to God, then that is the sole purpose of this platform. It's not to bring glory to my name. It's not to bring glory to any of this or how I deliver something. It's more of like, how can this channel impact your journey with God? Don't ever feel like you are unqualified or not able to talk openly about your faith because you don't have a degree in seminary or you don't have a theological background, because I do not, you guys. I will be the first to say it. Like, I am continuously learning through his word. I'm continuously learning through sermons, podcasts, all of that stuff. And I just hope that encourages you, if you are watching that on the other side of the screen, that you feel inadequate, you feel unqualified to talk openly about your faith. Like, everyone is unqualified if you really think about it. I hope that you can find some type of encouragement, some type of advice that can help you on your journey with God. Let's get into today's video. Also, if you do find this video helpful, please like, subscribe, comment. I love responding to all of your comments. So yes, I just wanted to say that really quick. Okay, so who here has read the book of Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and you just kind of feel like it is super boring? Not that it's boring, like, it's kind of like a dread getting through it, but it's just like there's a lot of, especially in Numbers, there's just a lot of things that can kind of just like, draw back your attention. I don't know. The book of Exodus, you guys, and the book of Numbers, I have been learning so much. And I wanted to share with you guys just one main point, and that is a few lessons on trusting God's provision over your lives. I want to highlight just a few times in the Bible where the Israelites at this point are complaining and grumbling to God. And then I want to share with you guys like how he provides, because that is such a good reminder if you need to be reminded of something. Like, you may be going through a tough situation. You may be asking God, why is he not doing this? How is he going to do this? Side note, if you ever feel that way, if you ever feel like God is calling you to do something that you do not feel capable of doing, how do you think God is going to get glory if all we ever do is based on our own ability? He equips the called, and it's not about being perfect. It's not about knowing everything or having everything figured out. It is about being obedient to walk into what he has for you. Even knowing that you do not know how, you do not feel capable or qualified, he's called you for a reason. Just want to say that God does provide, and he provides in ways that we may not even see or know because it's not in the way that we want, okay? I do want to share with you guys two lessons. Number one, God is never late to providing. Like, he is always on time. He doesn't just like forget about what he's done. He doesn't just forget that the Israelites are in the wilderness, that, oh man, they don't have food, they don't have water, so like they're gonna have to figure it out, or maybe someone will take charge and they'll figure it out. Like, he knows what he's signing up for. He takes responsibility of his people, and so he is going to provide on his timing. And going along with that, I want to talk to you guys about 4 instances, like I said, where the Israelites grumbled and complained. This is after the fact that God rescued them from slavery in Egypt, okay? Like, this is almost like God providing you something so miraculous, right? And you have the audacity to be like, well, like, God, why'd you do that? Might as well just stayed at my bad job. Might as well stayed at my toxic job, because I was making way more money and I was able to financially support my family. And now you called me into this new position. I'm making half that amount of money and I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. Even though I get to spend more time with my children, I just, like, how are you gonna, provide? How are you gonna provide? And why aren't you providing on my timing? All this kind of stuff. Like, can you guys imagine? Because that has happened to me so many times where I feel like God has done miraculous things in my life. And for a second, I don't remember, or for a second, my gaze and my eyes are not fixed on that one thing that he did. I so easily take it for granted. I'm like complaining, I'm grumbling, I'm worrying. He's just like, Alexis, do you not realize what I just did in your life? Whether it was a month ago, whether it was a year ago, whether it was whatever ago, like, do you not recall the things that I have done for your life because I love you, I adore you, I take responsibility for you? Like, do you forget? And that is exactly what the Israelites were experiencing. And I don't want to say that I'm like mad at them, because I feel this, I would do the same thing, but I'm just trying to bring light to that situation, because it's like, maybe it's a wake-up call for you guys, but do you forget what God has done in your life? Like, are you forgetting the time where he has rescued you from that bad relationship? Are you forgetting the time where he is, maybe you got laid off at a job, but maybe it was really toxic. It was for a purpose. And I know sometimes we forget about that. We forget, like, oh, God's daily bread is not really sufficient for me. What God is providing daily is kind of not enough. And I just want to encourage you guys, this whole video is based on God is enough. God's daily manna, daily bread is more than enough. We just need to be obedient to walk into what God has for you. Our hearts need to be filled with his promises. Okay, so if we start out with the book of Exodus 15:22-25. So at this point, the Israelites find them in this desert of Shur, thirsty. They're without water. I believe this is like 3 days without water. And they find that the water that they are about to drink is bitter. Okay, so then Moses calls into God. God makes that water sweet so they're able to drink it. Again, God provides. Exodus 16:2-4. Israelites grumble about food. Again, Lord provides manna and says that he will be providing for their daily needs. And you guys, for 1 second, can we just talk about manna? And I want to read something in my Bible commentary that maybe will give you like a bigger picture of how freaking miraculous our God is. And it's like, I don't even know. This stuff just really gets me going. In short, it had a familiar taste, but was not exactly like anything they were used to eating. Appropriately, they asked, "What is it?" So actually, the name of the substance is literally, "What is it?" Both their question and the lack of answer indicates that this was not a natural food. Next, Moses described the process for gathering the manna. Again, the supernatural nature of the substance was made even clearer when they gathered it. Everyone was to pick up an omer per person, but no matter how much they gathered, everyone had just enough, not too much, not too little. The note that Moses was angry with them reflects the frustration he felt in dealing with the people who refused to follow even such simple instructions. This suggests that God intended to teach Israel daily reliance upon him. This just as Jesus taught his followers to pray, "Give us our daily bread." So then in Numbers 11:4-6, they complain again. They were complaining because they wanted a variety of food and they weren't sufficient enough with the stuff that God has initially already provided. Again, God provides. If you actually think about it, if my God provided food every single day, to a point where there was like more than enough, wouldn't you like take that for granted? Because if I'm actually thinking about the Israelites for a minute, oh, okay, God's providing us food every single day, so might as well just complain because this manna is definitely not enough. And since he provides it every day, might as well just ask for like some quail, ask for some like, I don't know, some other good stuff, right? And we could even think about it, in our own personal lives, but it's like, oh wow, I have another, day at life. I have another breath of fresh air. I have walking legs. I have so many things to be grateful for, yet I still worry. I still grumble. I still ask God why he's not performing miracles on my timing. I still wonder why he's not answering my prayer that I've been praying for so long. A reminder, just like the Israelites did every single day. We personally need a reminder. We need to remind ourselves of God's promises. We need to remind ourselves of God's provision over our life, because he is such a good God, you guys. He is going to provide when we need it. Just like I talked to you guys about me losing my job. I lost my job. I was so scared of how I'm going to make money, how I'm going to pay rent. I got a dog at that point. I had student loans coming up and I was like, holy crap, this couldn't have come at a worse time. Keep in mind, it was such a toxic work environment. Like, it was so stressful. I was crying all the time. It was just a really, really bad environment. And God graciously provided me a job without even me realizing it. It was a job that I felt so unqualified for, and I still applied and I got it. Like, thanks be to God that He provides what you need when we want. And so if you are struggling right now and you're like, oh man, rent's coming up, I don't have a job, I don't know what I'm going to do. You guys, I know it sounds so cliche and I know it sounds so much harder than it really is, but it's like, you need to get into His Bible. You need to pray. You need to trust that He is going to deliver. It's not even like, oh, if it's God's will, then, I get this. And if not, then like, I'm still going to be fine because I have faith and whatever. No, God is going to deliver. You need to stand firm that He is going to, that He is able to. Don't even put that in your head that if He won't do it, because He is going to do it. It just may not be in a way that you want or the way that you expect, but He is going to deliver you. He's going to provide for His children. Again, He takes responsibility for you guys. Like He says in the verse, like, He knew you before you were even in the womb. Before the first day that you were born, He claimed you as His. And if you don't think that He will provide, if you don't acknowledge the God above everything, you are going to struggle. You are going to think that He doesn't hear you. You are going to worry. If my God did it once, I know He's going to do it again. Sometimes His provision does not come immediately, but it arrives at the right time. One thing I really want to know, because it just like came to my mind, and that was the fact that like God is fighting battles on your behalf that you do not even know of, okay? For example, Balaam, this pagan sorcerer in the book of Numbers, the Moabite king basically tells Balaam, hey, I want you to put a curse on Israel because they are literally taking out all of these people. Like, they are coming after our town. We need to protect ourselves. So you need to put this curse on Israel, right? So this pagan sorcerer hears a few messages from the Lord, and the Lord, instead of Balaam sending out these curses like he intended, He is able to not speak anything but blessings over Israel. When they're at the top of the hill, the Israelites are down below. The Israelites at this point are grumbling for food, right? And God is with Balaam at the top of this hill, and He is literally keeping Balaam from cursing Israel. He's fighting our battles without them even knowing. Isn't that beautiful if you really think about it? Like, God is protecting you from something that you are not even yet aware of, that you may never be aware of, because He settled it, that he's figured it out, okay? Without your help, without anyone else's help. Like, He is the God above all gods, and we need to have reliance on God's generosity. We need to rely on Him, and we need to remember that He is going to provide our daily bread. He is going to provide the things that we need. And sometimes it's hard, you guys. Sometimes you want everything. You're like, Lord, like, no, please give me more, or this isn't what I asked for, or this isn't what I want. This isn't what I thought my life would look like. It's like, do you guys not believe in your God? Like, do you not understand what He's capable of? Because when you start undermining God's ability, that is when He cannot perform miracles in your life. And sometimes it's also because you're not letting Him. You are expecting something so immediate that as people, as human beings, I don't know about you, but like, if I'm in a situation or a circumstance, whatever, and it's just kind of bad, the first thing that I do, I grumble, I complain, right? I'll rant to my parents, I'll rant to my friends, like, and it's like, no, dude, you need to step back. You need to talk to God first. He's the one that can handle it. And don't try to like fix the problem. Don't try to do what God is supposed to do. Let Him move in your life. You're not letting Him move. You're not giving Him the chance to move because you're so quick to try to fix these problems. And you are not the solution. He is the solution. So I hope today's video kind of opened up your eyes a little bit. I'm sorry this was all over the place. Like, every time I sit down and talk about a video, it's like I have things and I have bullet points in my head that I really want to go over in the order of my video, and it just never really ends up being like that, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I see so many other YouTubers that talk about faith-based stuff, and their YouTube videos are always so formatted so well. If something comes to my mind, like I will hop on it. So I'm sorry that it's always scattered, But I don't know, maybe that's also like the Holy Spirit, you know? Maybe that's just like, that's how it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be so crafted. It's not supposed to be so, you know, perfect. I don't know. I go all over. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Love you.